So basically what I wanted to do is explain to you what I did with my grade 10 French immersion history class. We are doing the 1920s, 1930s, so it's partie 3 of the program, which I think a lot of you use. So I stole this game from the brand new French Playground Missions book. There's a couple games that are in there like this. This game is also found in the Français package that maybe you've seen before, I don't know. But basically, this is how it works. You see I have scattered across here different terms, names, and important things from this era of the 1920s, 1930s. And the game is called Parlez-moi, so they have to be able to speak about these things. So you split the class into 4 parts, all right? So basically, one team was the yellow team, so they start with R.B. Bennett. The one was the blue team, the pink team down here, and the green team over here. To start, in order to earn their spot in their territory, I called them countries. That's how we did it. So you're earning your countries, and you're trying to race across the game board to capture the flag, so to speak, or take over somebody else's country. I'm doing this because we already did World War I and we're about to do World War II. So there's actually some continuity there as well. So in order to gain theirs, they actually have to describe what these things are about. So the blue team went first and they described what the crash was about. And when they did that successfully, they earned that spot. The next team was the yellow team. They earned that. The green team. Now, ironically, and I'm going to play this through, and you probably see this fairly quickly, and hopefully as I'm talking you can see this. The pink team actually down here, they lost. Let me just put this on hold for a second. They were unable to properly explain who les chômeurs are. They couldn't do it. And it actually took them a couple tries. And you'll see this because so many minutes into the game at this point here, if you're looking here, I just stopped the video feed. You can see basically what happened was the blue team, they earned theirs over here. Okay, they earned theirs. Yellow team earned theirs. The green did theirs. They didn't their first time. The pink team down at the bottom right-hand corner didn't earn theirs. The blue team got to go again, and they decided to occupy this. So the basic idea is you get to move 1 square. So when it was the blue team's second time, they had a choice to go for laissez-faire, union nationale, ou prohibition. Okay, they could go through any of these. They decided as a team that they were going to head towards the pink team's property here, their territory that they had yet to claim, and they thought that would be the easiest strike. So they headed that way. They properly talked to me about prohibition. They earned that territory. Nobody else can earn this territory now. All right. Then the yellow team went. They earned compte de travail, and the green team decided to go more of a direct route, and they spoke about les frères Bill. So the next move was the pink team again were unable to properly give me a good explanation. So it was the blue team's turn again, and they went, let's just go forward here a little bit, and you'll see that they went with Agnes MacPhail. So now they're following this route here. They first earned that one, then they earned this one, and now they've earned this territory. And nobody can enter this territory. So anybody trying to get to the blue team, say if the yellow team was, they have a direct path up here from R.B. Bennett straight down to the crash. But the green team, for example, couldn't get them by going through the Agnes MacPhail way because they've earned that territory. So let's just press play and you're going to see how this went. So everybody took their turns. So the blue team had their turn, the yellow team went. Now the green team went and they did exportation. Now what I did was the middle box in this game is the one that's kind of like win or lose type thing. It's almost like a minefield. So if you get it right, you earn that important spot. If you don't, then you lose all your turns. So they would even lose their own position here. It would have went all empty. But fortunately for them, they got it. So they got the strategic middle, like in playing tic-tac-toe, for example. They got this strategic middle part, and it changed the game a lot. Then, as you can see down here, the pink team finally figured out who they were, and they earned that spot. And so each team gets to take their turn. So I'll repeat this again. The blue team in this game went first, then the yellow team, then the green, then the rose. Okay, so what they do is they tell me which territory they want to occupy, but they have to parlez-moi, they have to speak about that and show that they actually know what these things are about. When they do that, they earn that spot. And what they're trying to do is go across the board and take somebody else's flag or take somebody else's original corner, basically. So let's just watch how this went. And what the bonus addition to this game was, as things got really more clogged up, for example, right here, you see that the blue team, which was on the Agnes MacPhail section here, they were right here. They had the option of moving forward one box this way. They could have went this way towards the pink team to try to capture theirs down here, but they actually chose to go backwards to block the green team from their next move being going directly towards their territory. So they actually did a little bit of a defensive play. Because in the meantime, I added a rule where I said that they could actually practice doing les accords, les alliances. And so they were allowed to make deals with other teams and create little alliances. And the green team and the yellow team actually made an alliance. So the blue team was concerned. The blue team was kind of on their own. And so they decided to go back and protect some of their territory. And if you're not understanding any of this, you could just drop a message and let me know, and I can explain it a little bit better. But let's watch the game continue. The yellow team then went here, so they were on their way to attack the blue team. The rose went here, and then blue, when it was their turn, wisely blocked. So now, as you can see, the blue team has successfully created a defense, and nobody can get to their territory any longer. So the yellow team, who is here right now, was actually stuck. And their next move, you'll find out, was they went backwards. And you're allowed to go back and move to a space within your own territory that you've claimed already. You just have to re-explain what that thing means for parlez-moi, which they did. So they re-explained, and they were able to then move forward, and you'll see what they did with their moves in a second. And the green team actually moved on, and I don't know if you caught that there, but the green team successfully took the flag or the territory of Rose. And Rose was left as a rogue unit because they were only here. So they decided to go over to here. They successfully described Duke Ellington. They successfully described the significance of the automobile. And they are basically racing because they wanted to come up to block or to grab the Green's territory since Green took theirs. But interestingly enough, as you can see here where I'm typing right now, Green raced back. So let me just try to stop this here. Green raced back after they took Rose. They raced back up here, and they actually beat Rose, who again had a wrong answer and lost a turn, and were able to go back to their own country, and they re-explained their area, and they were allowed to build a fortified wall, and which inevitably stopped the Rose. And if you were noticing here, the yellow team had made his way up here, but because of their alliance with the green team, they chose not to attack green. Instead, they headed back towards this way to try to defend their territory from the blue team who was about to strike. Unfortunately for the yellow team, they didn't arrive on time, and the blue team did capture the yellow team's territory, therefore winning the game essentially. In essence, that's what we kind of decided as a class because they were the most strategic team. They protected their area very well. They were able to gain the yellow teams. Now the green team, of course, was a tied for first, you could say. They successfully had a strategy where they went directly, grabbed the flag from the rose team, and then they moved up here. Now I've been spending all this time talking about the actual game and the strategy, but the important thing was we spent this period, and it took pretty much the whole period to play this game. But the entire period, all we were doing was talking about everything about the 1920s and the 30s as it relates to Canadian history. It was actually beautiful. I mean, look at the only thing that was really not discussed out of this whole thing was one thing out of 25 topics was the only thing that was not discussed. So again, if you need a little bit more explanation, let me know. I really encourage you to try this. It's a lot of fun. The students get lost in the actual game, activity, strategy, and they don't even realize how much of the history that we were talking about, which prepared them very well for the test that they wrote today. And they all seem to do really well on the test today. So to have students to be able to speak in French or in English about all this history is actually very, very impressive. So I was pretty proud of them, and I really credit this game. So hope you give it a try. Thanks.